Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jon Najarian. CJ and Monty and I are here to entertain and delight you, just like that fancy animation there for the intro. This is the Daily Crypto Byte. I know CJ had a lot that he wanted to cover right away. So after that disclaimer there, which says this informational and educational only, take it over, CJ.
Let's get right into the news. You can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin this morning. Elon Musk announcing it. And I think, the coolest part of this, guys, is not just that they're accepting Bitcoin. We already know they bought 1.5 billion, but they're actually going to hold it now. They're not going to just sell it off straight for fiat. So with Bitcoin being that much of a deal for Tesla, no surprise we're seeing a bottoming pattern this morning. What are you guys' thoughts on Tesla?
I thought, it's another one of those Elon Musk 3:30 in the morning tweets. But sometimes he does his best thinking then, apparently. And Kathy Woods has that $3,000 bull case target, CJ. $1,500 is her bear case. So I like it. I think he skips a bunch of steps by just saying, you know what, if you want to pay me with your Bitcoin, I'll take it. Saves him from having to go out and buy it, convert fiat into Bitcoin and so forth. And I think it's yet another sign that some people are really believers that this is going to be worth a lot more in the future. That's why I guess some whales, if they have Bitcoin, burning a hole in their pocket, maybe they go buy a Tesla with it. Again, they're not going to have to cash it in and then buy a Tesla. They just, trade the certain amount of Bitcoin for whatever model they want. And for the rest of us, though, if you've been accumulating, 2, 3, 5, whatever Bitcoin, and all of a sudden it's 55,000 and you're saying, well, with 2 of them, I could own a Tesla. You probably still want to hold on to the damn Bitcoin. So you'd probably still, maybe you borrow against it, the Bitcoin that is. But I don't think a lot of the folks who have just started to accumulate, CJ, are going to take advantage of it.
Well, that all depends on how they react to their gains and what their time preference is, of course. Like what we were mentioning before the show, I think Elon's going after the Lambo customers. There was record sales in 2017 for Lamborghini for purchases with Bitcoin, obviously way different companies, but I think he wants that Roadster to be more competitive with something like the Lamborghini Gallardo or one of the newer models. But what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think you guys both make good points, but I think the best point here and the big takeaway for me is that second part of Elon's tweet and how they're retaining the Bitcoin and not turning it back into fiat. I think that, sure, maybe some people will buy Teslas with Bitcoin, but like you said, John, a lot of Bitcoin holders have diamond hands and they won't want to sell their Bitcoin, even if it means to buy a Tesla. But really, it's so encouraging to see kind of a forward-thinking company and a forward-thinking CEO like Elon Musk saying that he doesn't have any plan to sell his Bitcoin into fiat. For me, this kind of just reiterates my belief that there is a place for Bitcoin in the future economy. And if Tesla's basically tying its cart to Bitcoin. So now they're kind of a symbiotic relationship. So I think that in the future, them together is going to be a fruitful relationship. So I think it's great that Elon is putting out this tweet. And one thing that for me is the most striking is the timing of these tweets. He's tweeted before about Bitcoin, and he always seems to time it very perfectly whenever the crypto community needs it most. He's kind of like the dark knight of crypto, if you will. CJ, you sent this chart with some pretty interesting milestones for Bitcoin. You want to talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah. And to your point about his timing, it was funny. I saw somebody on Twitter put out a tweet saying that Elon is acutely aware of those BTC futures expirations. But nevertheless, what we have here with the Bitcoin chart, and this is actually going to be my Doge of the day today as well. Not that you could call Bitcoin a Doge of the day per se. Still, I think it's very bullish. What I have highlighted here on the chart is a previous engulfing candle at the bottom of a bear trend. And when you get a bullish engulfing candle here at the bottom of a downtrend like we had previously, and you get a bounce from that level, that's very characteristic sometimes of a role reversal. And I think that's what we're beginning to see now. I think Jon made some great points yesterday, bringing up the 54K and 55K levels, where those whales really stepped in for support. We saw a bounce from those levels. And so I think if we can close firmly and strong, and if people don't just sell into this rally, I think Bitcoin will be headed for new highs here in the short term.
Well, I noted a couple interesting things other than Musk guys in the news overnight. One of them, there's this site called Eureka Hedge. And that's just like it sounds, Eureka Hedge altogether. They said the industry right now for Bitcoin funds, which we are, of course, working on together with CJ and Matt. But the Bitcoin hedge funds, if you will, are now $3.4 billion. So it's a real industry, obviously. It's not just Pantera. It's a host of other firms other than Mr. Moorhead's firm over there at Pantera, and hats off to you over at Pantera. But the performance in the month of February, the cryptocurrency hedge funds had their best month since 2019. And that, of course, included that run we saw at the end of 2020. And they were up 35% on the month. So again, that's not Bitcoin, that's the funds that are trading Bitcoin, because most of them aren't just buying it and holding it. They are trading it to give people perhaps what they're seeking, of course, a alpha or a superior rate of return. And Bitcoin was up 36% in that month. So I'm guessing that the hedge funds smoothed the returns a little bit when Bitcoin had those pullbacks, because we all discussed it shot up to 58 or thereabouts, pulled back to about 43, so it was all over the place in that month, February, 1 month ago. But nonetheless, the funds did what they were supposed to do. They pretty much tracked the performance of Bitcoin. Let's see, that's the best performance since May of 2019. Again, according to Eureka Hedge, 2019 in May, the funds, which were much smaller, they weren't 3.4 billion in assets under management or AUM, but nonetheless, they were 74% in May of 2019. So that was, the high watermark for a fund to get that kind of performance. But keep in mind, hedge funds as a whole in the month of February, those of you who are watching and regular equity investors probably know this, funds were up 3%, 3 in February. Bitcoin was up more than 10 times that, Bitcoin hedge funds in the month of February. So I just kind of throw it out to you guys because it is an emerging and a very attractive space in finance. And I think more and more people are going to be gravitating towards those funds.
And to your point about those funds, Jon, I think that a lot of those are really only Bitcoin centric, or maybe only Bitcoin and Ethereum centric. We haven't seen a vast migration into some of the token efficiency models or into the altcoins just yet. And I think certain funds may pursue certain strategies like that. But Monty, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, that's exactly what I was going to say too, CJ. And just to kind of expand on that point, people talk a lot about how this year and this bull market cycle are so much different than 2017. And a lot of that has to do with the presence of institutions and big names like Elon and Tesla stepping in. But I think one thing that's really overlooked is the potential value of these hedge funds in this sort of emerging market of family offices and wealthy clients. Right now, it's still very small. And I think that going forward, this is going to be a potentially extremely profitable and large industry of investment. So I think that that could be the next wave of kind of excitement, is sort of that middle ground between the retail speculation we saw in 2017 and institutional speculation in 2020. Once those wealthy family offices start to really take a look at Bitcoin and realize its value as a long-term investment, I think that could be another spark to send prices even higher.
I agree. I agree. Well, my time is shorter today, guys. If it's okay with you, I'm going to dive into a Doge of the day.
That's always okay with us.
Okay. Just because in fact, I've got to join the lawyers on a call about the hedge fund, about the crypto hedge fund, which we better get rolling, given what's going on. All right. My Doge of the day today, guys, I'm a broken record. I always look at volume, and I am looking at volume that, for instance, on Tuesday, just yesterday in the morning, at this time in the morning, ANKR yesterday was trading about 185 million. That's the 24-hour volume. It started spiking later in the day, like in the afternoon, let's say. It doesn't coordinate with the GameStop release, and when they decided that they were going to offer more shares eventually in 2021, which is why the stock's diving today. And the apes are probably heading for the exits. Maybe one of the things they were heading for is Anchor, ANKR, because I saw that volume jump from, like I say, literally 170 million in a 24-hour period. It started jumping up to 455 million, then to 1 billion by 3 o'clock. And most of yesterday afternoon into today, it's been trading over 1.3, 1.4 billion. These are dollar volumes I'm talking about, not coins. But it's a cheap shot. It's a 9-cent coin or something like that. So watch that one. Maybe you buy it on pullbacks or whatever, but just to give you an idea, on the biggest spikes, it hit 11 cents and then pulled back down into the, let me see, it's right about 9.6, 9.7. So 9 cents and 600ths or something like that. Watch that one. I think that big surge in there tells you something's going on. And it trades on a bunch of exchanges too, because I know many times we get questions, well, where can I trade that? I saw it on Binance, BitThumb. How do you pronounce it, guys? Huobi?
Huobi.
Huobi. Both Huobi Global, it trades there. So anyway, take a look at that one. That's my Doge of the day.
Mr. Monte.
Mine is actually similar. It's in the same vein of asset, and I think it's performing well due to a similar reason. That's Storj. One of our fellow employees that's getting big into crypto actually texted us this morning with a rocket ship for Storj. So that's always an indication for me to check the chart. And this is a move that I kind of missed, but along with Anchor and some other assets, this was just listed on Coinbase. And people have been talking a lot about the Coinbase effect and how Cardano didn't see much of a pop. I think that that's because Cardano is just too big of an asset and it's too globally distributed already. When you're dealing with an asset like Storj, this is the type of pop you see when you get listed on Coinbase. So Alex yesterday on Trade the Chain made some really good points about the day after an asset is listed on Coinbase, it tends to perform very well. And it continues to perform well throughout the week after. So a listing yesterday implies that this thing may have some room to run. Expect a bit of a correction today, but for the rest of the week, for this thing to continue to run as Coinbase users keep buying this thing up. So I'll be watching STORJ closely to see kind of what the retail traders do with this one.
Cool. All right. Well, CJ already gave us his Bitcoin itself. And I want to thank all of you for watching. Remember, you can go over to YouTube and check out any of the videos. past of Daily Crypto Bytes, or Pete, me, AJ, any of our videos. We literally have thousands at YouTube. You just type in Market Rebellion into the search bar and you can find them. Maybe give some love to Voyager. They're the sponsor of this show. Voyager trades 50 plus cryptos on their platform and no commissions, zero, as well as pays you monstrous interest on many of those. They also have the VGX coin, which is their token for Voyager. So registered crypto broker in Canada and eligible everybody in the US, I think, except New York. And they're just waiting for New York financial approval, which takes forever apparently. But thanks, guys. I hope you both have a great day today.
You too, John.
As well.
Thanks, everyone.